In a cold alley behind a diner in Detroit, a man sat wrapped in a tattered coat, watching people walk past as if he never existed. His name was Jacob. Once, he was the pride of his high school, a football hero, a scholarship winner, a son full of dreams. But life, as it sometimes does, knocked harder than he could stand. He had lost everything: his job, his family, and most painfully, his self-worth. And yet, on one frozen night, something inside him whispered, "Get up, not for them, not for glory, but for you." That whisper became a spark, and that spark, it lit a fire that would change everything. The winter of 2015 was particularly cruel in Detroit. Streets were layered with snow, and the biting wind pierced through coats like paper. In an alley behind a small diner on Jefferson Avenue, a man sat with his back against a dumpster. His beard was thick and untrimmed, and his eyes were hollow, windows to a soul that had weathered too many storms. His name was Jacob Monroe. Just 5 years earlier, he had been walking the stage of the University of Michigan, receiving his degree in mechanical engineering with honors. He had a proud mother in the audience, tears in her eyes, a scholarship winner, a high school football captain, a man whose future once gleamed like polished steel. But life is rarely linear, and for Jacob, the descent came fast and ruthless. His father died suddenly. The medical bills devoured his savings. A layoff during the economic slump left him jobless. Depression crept in like a silent thief. Then came alcohol, then pills, then nothingness. "I don't even remember how I got here," he often mumbled to himself. Every day, people passed him. Some looked away in discomfort. Others tossed a few coins. But most pretended he didn't exist. It was Christmas Eve. Snowflakes danced through the streetlights. The city was alive with shoppers and carols and cheer. But not for Jacob. He huddled beneath a soggy blanket, shivering and numb. Then it happened. A boy, no older than 10, broke away from his mother and walked up to Jacob without saying a word. He handed him a steaming cup of hot chocolate and a napkin-wrapped sandwich. "Merry Christmas," the boy said, and ran back to his mother. Jacob stared at the cup in disbelief. His hands trembled as he took a sip. It burned his tongue slightly, but it was the best thing he'd tasted in years. The sandwich was basic, just ham and cheese, but it brought tears to his eyes. He unfolded the napkin, and on it, written in shaky kid's handwriting, were 5 words: "You matter. Please don't give up." That simple message shattered something inside him. Or maybe it woke something that had been sleeping. For the first time in years, he cried. The next morning, Jacob did something different. He walked to the nearest church, not to pray, not to ask for charity, but because he'd heard they offered hot meals and shelter. Pastor Dan, a soft-spoken man in his 60s, welcomed him with a warm handshake. "Everyone here gets a new chance," he said. "If you want one, it's yours." That week, Jacob began attending community meetings. He joined a program for recovering addicts. The path wasn't easy. He relapsed twice, but each time he got back up. The boy's note stayed in his coat pocket, worn, wrinkled, but powerful. Every time he wanted to give up, he read it. "You matter. Please don't give up." Within 6 months, Jacob was clean. He started volunteering at the church, washing dishes, cleaning halls, helping others who were where he once was. A local mechanic named Jerry noticed his dedication. "You any good with engines?" he asked. Jacob grinned. "Used to be." Jerry gave him a shot. At first, it was just cleaning tools, then helping with oil changes, then bigger repairs. It wasn't long before Jerry offered him a part-time job. "I'm not just giving you this, kid," Jerry said. "You earned it." Jacob worked day and night, saved every dollar, bought books on engineering again, signed up for night classes at the community college. He reconnected with his mother, who cried over the phone when she heard his voice sober and strong. "I never stopped praying for you," she said. 3 years later, Jacob Monroe stood in front of a small audience at a local rehabilitation center. He wore a clean button-up shirt, jeans, and a confident smile. In his hand, he held the old napkin. "I was dead inside once," he said to the crowd. "Addiction, depression, failure. They all told me I didn't matter. But then a child proved them wrong. And today, I'm here to tell you the same thing he told me. You matter. Please don't give up." He was now a certified mechanical engineer, working full-time at an automotive design firm in downtown Detroit. He had a small apartment, a car, and more importantly, a life of purpose. Each month, he visited shelters and centers, sharing his story. He mentored young people, volunteered to fix cars for struggling families. And every Christmas, he handed out sandwiches and hot chocolate to the homeless with napkins that read, "You matter. Please don't give up." One day, after giving a talk at a high school, a teenager came up to him. "You don't remember me," the teen said, "but I gave you hot chocolate once." Jacob froze. "I was with my mom. You were behind a diner. I was scared to come near, but I wanted to do something." Jacob smiled through tears. "I carry your note with me every day." The boy, now almost grown, looked shocked. "You do?" Jacob pulled the worn napkin from his wallet. "This saved my life." They hugged. Two strangers, now forever connected. Jacob's story was picked up by a local news station, then a national one. Soon, he was invited to speak at conferences, universities, and even on a televised TEDx talk. He didn't see himself as a hero, just a man who made a choice to rise, even when everything inside him said stay down. He started a nonprofit called Light After Darkness, offering support, training, and mentorship to people recovering from homelessness and addiction. When asked what turned his life around, he never credited luck or talent. He always said the same thing: "A child reminded me I mattered, and I chose to believe it." Moral of the story: no one is too far gone. No life is too broken. A single act of kindness can plant a seed that grows into redemption. When you feel like giving up, remember, the light you seek might already be inside you. You just have to choose it.